Good morning, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. Hope you're doing well. It is going to be warm today, not super hot. Hopefully we won't hit 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have a lot of transplanting to do. There's some garden cleanup. Basically, we're going to spend the whole day here in the garden getting a bunch of stuff done. So I've been religiously setting traps for rats every night, between 4 and 6 traps every night for the last 2 weeks. And I've caught a lot. But for the past 2 nights, I've caught nothing. I thank you guys that I've exhausted the population for now. That doesn't mean they'll never come back. But the favorite seems to be peanut butter with oatmeal. Dried oatmeal mixed into it onto the traps. But all the snap traps that I've set have been in the same place last couple nights, and I haven't caught anybody, and there's no damage on any of the plants. So I think for now the population's under control, but I'm not going to let my guard down. I will move these traps around to new places because rats are very smart, and if they associate one spot with something dangerous and painful, they generally won't go back to that spot right away. That's going to be my plan. It's once they're set, they're easy to move around. I probably will need to eventually change the peanut butter out. It's so bizarre. The ants aren't attacking them. You would think the ants would eat the peanut butter, but they're not. It's strange. Anyway, things are looking really good. Our carrots are germinating. We've got 2 rows here. They're looking good. This is probably the best crop of carrots so far that I've had ever. The lettuces we planted are finally rooted in and they're doing well. And we've got some beets germinating and they're doing well. I do want to plant some more though. Then the peas are still here because thankfully they didn't get eaten. And they're fine. They're going to start climbing those trellises eventually. Everything else that I planted is perfectly fine. No nibbles, nothing. So I think that I've gotten on top of it for now. And I actually really am liking using this netting because it's keeping the birds off of the plants. And because it's not bird netting, there's no danger to the birds. The birds can land on top. They won't get stuck in it, nothing like that. So it's actually, I'm liking it. I think I'm going to do some investment in some for the farm for a lot of the crops because they do suffer in the early spring when the birds are very hungry. They will just tear apart the leaves of the new plants. So yeah, I think it's a really good investment. Okay, still have tons of green tomatoes that are not ripening. And I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to just pull them and let them ripen on the shelf because I'm going to need this space soon. I think I can go ahead and pull this row because there's only like 2 tomatoes. One of them, this one, is ready to pull, and there's a couple more, but I'll just go on and harvest those. They will ripen on the counter, and then I can plant in this row because I have broccoli and cauliflower that I need to put in the ground. And the same thing with here. I can pull this stuff up and go on and plant what I have planned for here. I don't know, I have to look at the map, but there's no point in leaving this in the ground, and I have compost to put down. So, and the other reason I know that the rats are taken care of is all of these tomatoes that are right here close to the ground, none of them have been bothered. Nobody's eating them, so that's good. And then I found this little squash in here. I don't know what kind it is. It's so cute. I think it might be a Seminole squash. And if so, that'll be the only one that survived. So that's gonna stay there while those tomatoes are still in place. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out these beans. I've harvested a ton of dried beans. I still need to shell them. I'm gonna pull those out. I'm going to add a whole bunch of soil to this side. The whole bed's gonna need tons of soil. As you can see, it's really, really settled because there was cardboard in here first. So we're gonna need lots and lots of soil in here, but there's still things growing that I don't wanna cut yet. There's zinnias in here, and these are floret zinnias, so I definitely wanna save them because I wanna save the seed. And then we've got some black-eyed peas. These are California black-eyed peas, so I definitely want to let these guys finish. And look at all those aphids. I keep spraying them off with jets of water, but you know, it's just that time of year. So these guys will stay for a little while longer before I plant in this spot. But basically this whole bed is going to be mustards, which is what these guys are right here. And this is a mustard blend, and they've been so delicious. The chickens love them. They're really good additions for salads because they're not super bitter. They've been really good. Nice bite to them, but not like pow, you know? So really good. The other thing I'm going to do today is this bed is ready to have a lot more soil added and then get planted into. Now I'm putting some cauliflower in the back. The map has 3 cauliflowers to the back, and then I'm going to put onions in the front. So this is definitely a job for today. Then we're also going to do some cleanup in here. Nothing major, I just want to tidy a little bit. I've taken the shade cloth off. Here we've got some beans. These are really nice and prolific. I've been harvesting on these, and there's sweet potatoes and then these cucumbers, which I don't know. I mean, they're beautiful and they've got flowers, but I don't know that they'll end up producing fruit because we're getting later in the season. I mean, there's some here, but I don't know how big they'll get before it gets cold. But that's okay. It was a second succession, taking a chance. I don't need this bed just yet. This bed is still pumping out tomatoes, so we're waiting to clear this. I have to look on the map. I don't even think I have a plan for this bed. I think it was just going to be lettuce, so that's cool. This bed I'm going to pull out. However, I do want to let this pepper keep going because, as you can see, it is producing, and I just don't want to. This one I'm going to pull up, actually dig up and put in a pot to overwinter. And then this pepper bed, I'm not ready yet either to pull because it's got lots of Sugar Rush peach that I want to ripen so that I can then harvest. The in-between stage where we've got some places we can pull stuff out, some places we can't. So it might be like working half of the bed. Like I can pull out the corn and all that, and I think I can put onions here. I have to look at the map. Basically, that's the reason I'm saying I think. And then I can still leave the other half in peppers until they're ready to come out. So, you know, it's going to be about finding little nooks and crannies where I can plant now, and planning on when those spaces will be opened up to plant more later. Onion sets that, because mine all got fried in the greenhouse. So I think I've got, what is this one? This one's a Chianti Red. And I think this is a sweet, maybe it's Walla Walla. Yeah, Walla Walla sweet onion. They grow really well here. And then I've got a purple cauliflower, and this is a white cauliflower. So these already have homes. This is just some romaine, and that's another broccoli. So I think I have places for all of those for today. And if not, I might either leave them in the 6-pack and keep them in a bed where they can get watered by the little sprinklers, or I may bump them up. It just depends on what I decide. This bed in front of me, I'm always tempted to plant into because, you know, right now the only thing in here is just the peony foliage that's dying off. But it's also packed full of daffodil bulbs, and those will come up starting in February. And if I put vegetables in here, that might cause a problem. So I generally have to leave this bed, and it's tough because it feels like wasted space, but it's a flower bed. So, all right, I'm gonna get started. If anybody has any advice, for about a week now, I've been dealing with some weird rashes that are spreading all over. They don't look really red, but when you touch them, they're raised, and they do itch. Not that terrible itch where you're like, oh my God, I can't take it. And in fact, if I use Benadryl cream on it, it actually burns, so I stopped using it. But it started on this arm, like, it started under here, and I can still feel it. And I thought maybe maybe it was contact dermatitis, that I had just come in contact with something in the garden that I'd like put under my arm or something, because I've done that before. But then I started noticing bumps on the rest of my arm, and now it's in between my fingers, and I have it on this side of my shoulder, my scalp. I can feel it. And then when I scratch, when it itches and I scratch, it feels like when you scratch a sunburn. It's so weird. And it's not red. Like I don't have, I mean, there's a little bit of redness here, but not much. So I'm trying to figure out, like, maybe I ate something my body's like reacting to, but this is literally the only symptom. So I don't know. I'm still leaning towards contact dermatitis, but nothing's changed. I haven't added any new soaps, any new products, no new, we're not washing our clothes in anything different. No new, I don't know. I don't know. So if you have any ideas, I think I need to probably just go see my doctor because, you know, when you do internet searches, it gives you some information, but for the most part, it's just like, I don't know, it could be literally anything. So, yeah, if anybody has any ideas, let me know. I basically am just washing with soap and water and using, you know, my normal hand cream or body cream because my skin gets really dried out if I do too much washing. But the bumps keep appearing in places. I've had these. It looks like what it looks like when I've had exposure to like euphorbia sap or daffodil sap or whatever, but I haven't had any exposure to any of those things. So again, it looks kind of like contact dermatitis, but then why is it spreading? And when I scratch it, why does it feel like a bad sunburn? It's just weird. So part of me really feels like it's something internal, like maybe I've got some weird inflammation thing going on that is causing this. And so I've been dialing back a lot of what I eat right now and trying to do an anti-inflammatory eating plan for a while to see if that makes a difference, you know, cutting out sugar and all the other inflammatory foods. I mean, I've been wheat and soy free for decades because I have allergies to both. So if you have an idea, I'm all ears because this is weird. It's not stopping me, but it's concerning me a little bit. And it, like, I can feel them on my neck, you know, just raised bumps. It's like goosebumps, but they hurt and itch. It's just weird. All right, enough of that sidetrack. I'm going to get started on getting some stuff planted in the garden. I just did a whole sign off that didn't have the microphone on. So we'll do that again. Okay, so you just saw me plant a little bit, not whole packets. Red and green mustards, those are giant mustards. So I'll have to come through here and thin dramatically, but once the zinnias and the black-eyed peas are done, we'll pull those out. I'll level the soil to this new level. We'll sow more mustard, and then this last third that already has mustard, we'll harvest those, eat them, give some to the chickens, put more soil, and plant more mustard. Biofumigating this bed, as well as stuff for us to eat. I have interplanted onions everywhere, and it's never helped with rodent control in the past, but you never know. But I think some of them probably won't make it to bulbing size, and that's only because, come March or April when I need to start flipping beds, they may not be ready, but I have them peppered around the garden, so I'm thinking we're still gonna have a good onion harvest. It's just not all in one bed. All right, it's hot, I'm itchy. I need to get inside and take a shower. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. If you are starting a fall garden, please let me know in the comments what you are planting. I would love to hear about it. Let me know what zone you're in and when your first frost is, because that would be really interesting to know. All I know is growing in zone 9B. So, I love to hear how other people do it. Okay, thanks again for hanging out. And I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.